Most people are afraid of doing a barbell snatch. Now what we're gonna do today is we're gonna break it down, we're gonna make it super simple, and I'm gonna teach you one exercise, the muscle snatch, that is going to help you perfect your barbell snatch and make you feel comfortable when underneath that bar. Step one for your muscle snatch or any snatch movement, you have to approach your bar. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find our feet are gonna be just underneath our hips, all right? Some people may need to have their feet a little bit wider, some may be a little bit more narrow. Whatever you feel comfortable with is what I want you guys to use. From here, we're gonna find our snatch grip. So, to find our snatch grip, what you're gonna do is you're gonna pick up your bar, and you wanna find your width with your hands where that bar cuts you in half at the hips, or if I were to bring it over my head, would be about 6 inches from the top of my head. What I'm not looking for is to find that this bar is like midway down my quads here, and my hands are too close. Now for some of us with longer arms, you may have to grip wider, and some of you guys may not reach your hips at all, but we want to get as close to that hip as possible because it is going to help you throughout the snatching movement. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to go down. If we're going to hang, we'll go to our knees. If we're going to go from the ground, we're going to go down to the floor. All right, we'll be in our snatch position. That bar is against your shins, your butt is pulled down, your chest is upward. From here, the first thing I want you guys to think about doing is rising with both your chest and your hips together at the same time, driving your knees out. But if you notice, this bar is stayed nice and close to my knees, and this is going to bring us into our first pull. So once you've set yourself up, you're comfortable, we approach that bar, we come up, bar close to the shins, to our knees, and now from here what we're gonna do is I want you to keep your weight pushed over that bar, and you're going to come up towards your hips. Now it doesn't mean I want you to slam that bar into your hips, which is gonna project this bar out, but I want you to rise up under control, constantly imagining you're driving through that floor to make contact with that bar and create an efficient and straight bar path. Now, we've pulled off the ground, we've passed our knees, and now we've reached our hips. From here, this is where things start to change for the muscle snatch. It's no longer a true snatch where we're going to be pulling up and then dropping down below the bar, but we are going to imagine that you are constantly driving through that floor the entire time until you've reached extension in an upright standing position. At no point during this movement are you going to drop and pull down below that bar. So I want you to think about a few things before I get into the actual pulling motion. One, I want you to think about driving through the ground. Two, I want you to think about a big shrug. Three, I want you to think about driving your elbows up nice and high. And once your elbows reach this elevated position, probably just about even with your shoulder, I don't want those elbows to ever drop down below that bar. I want you to continuously keep the arms up and drive through that bar until it reaches the very top over your head. So it's gonna look something like this. We've reached our hips, we're going to shrug, we're going to pull, and then from this position, extend overhead. Now remember, we're gonna use our legs, so it's gonna look something like this. Bring it right back down. Now, if you've noticed, to keep it efficient, that bar must stay close to my body, and I must be driving down through the floor the entire time. What we don't want to see is as you go to pull that bar, that you're dropping your elbow and turning it into a press out. We want to drive through the floor, pull the elbows up, and continue our motion overhead because we've utilized our entire body to propel that barbell upward.